Hi all. You may notice this looks completely different to how I usually do things, and that's because I am recording on my phone because I'm not doing a review. I just wanted to have a quick little rant. Tonight I went and saw Ready Player One. I treated my brother to seeing it in gold class. And gold class is already a very expensive experience. You know, you are paying to see something in luxury with, recliner chairs and having waiters and waitresses come and, wait on you. The tickets aren't cheap. The food and drink also not cheap. You're paying for a luxury experience. I think that people under the age of 18 should not be admitted into gold class. Now, I've been going to gold class since I was a kid, but I've already kind of grown up around people who taught me to understand that environment and appreciate it. Tonight, there were certain aspects of the film I was unable to pay attention to because there was this fucking brat who I'd say was possibly 13, 14 years old, who was driving everyone in the cinema batshit crazy. And I can say everybody because there was a moment when my brother was looking over to where he was, and even he's going, "Are you fucking kidding me?" I'm looking over there and I'm biting into my flesh because I just want to scream out, "Shut the fuck up." But then I looked around, we weren't alone. Everybody else in the cinema. Now, in gold class, there are only like 30 something seats. There aren't a lot of people that are in a gold class cinema. But it doesn't matter because everybody who was sitting there all looked over at this kid because they could all hear him. He was doing this. He had a milkshake. Good for him. So we get to listen to this. And it went on and on and on and fucking on. Get it through your head, kid. The drink is gone. Just because you keep doing that doesn't miraculously mean fluid is going to appear in the glass. He was possibly at that for a solid 5 minutes. So that's 5 minutes I didn't know what the fuck was going on the screen because that's all I could hear. I look over, he's happily engrossed, doing whatever he's doing. Then when he's stopped doing that, he's conversing with the dude next to him. And then they're conversing with the two dudes in front of them. Now, these 4 kids were being chaperoned by this woman. Now, I don't think that they were all brothers. I think that either 1 or 2 of them was possibly her child and the other 2 were just friends. And she was taking them to the movies. For starters, it goes to show that kids that age do not appreciate what they're getting. People are waiting on them, and these 4 kids called the waitress into them so often, I kind of felt sorry for her. And the thing is, they can do that because they're not paying. Mum is. Mum's paying. And Mum, you saw what the kids were doing. You saw that they were talking to each other, not quietly, that they were walking around the cinema to go and talk to each other. Like, you're not that far away from each other, but they kept at it. They kept at it. And what was worse was a fucking kid who had to slurp his drink nonstop went and ordered another one. So when he was finished with that drink, yay, we got to hear it again. I wanted to hit him over the head. Really badly. But thank you to the woman who was sitting next to me because, like the rest of us, she couldn't put up with it any longer. She got up, she walked over to the kid, but she kept her voice down. She was trying to be respectful, but at the same time, I didn't hear the exact words because she was being quiet. Thank you again. But essentially, she was telling the kid to cut the shit out. And after that, he didn't make any noise again. Thank God. Now, it wasn't until after this, like seconds later, that the mom actually gets up and has a chat to the kid, like, for fuck's sake. You're the adult, you knew what they were doing, and you could hear it. The entire cinema could. Not to mention every time he made that noise, you saw her looking back at him. But she never got up and said anything. She never told them to cut it out. You're the adult. You are paying for them to indulge, and there they are just constantly hitting the button, calling for the waiter and the waitress to come over and serve them with whatever they want, because they don't have any understanding that, that milkshake probably cost about $25. Not cheap, but it's okay. Mom's paying for it. And you hear them talking and making noise and disrupting everybody else, and you don't tell them to cut it out. You're the fucking adult. I'm kind of sick of seeing people like this. Now, it already frustrates me in a regular cinema, but I kind of give it a pass because kind of expect it. But this is gold class. You are paying a crap ton of money for a luxurious experience that is being ruined by 14-year-olds because they don't get it. It was highly unnecessary for him to do it. That little obnoxious little shit. He wasn't doing it because he was desperate to get that last bit of fluid out of his drink. 5 minutes. Come on. You know that once you hear that noise, you ain't getting anything else into that straw. It ain't gonna happen. But he kept doing it. He was doing it on purpose. He was being obnoxious on purpose. His mates knew about it. They were all for it. Sorry, but, now I didn't pay for my ticket. I used my cinema points, which means I've had to pay for a lot of movies to build up my points. That's a lot of money that I have spent so that I could go and have this experience. And said experience was ruined because 14-year-olds were allowed to be a part of it and ruin it for everyone. And because one adult couldn't take charge and tell these boys, that's not how you behave. It's unbelievable. And it did my head in. I've had plenty of bad cinema experiences. You can even watch when I talked about when I went and saw Rogue One, like, unbelievable. And I'll share a link to me ranting about that one because there was a kid sitting next to my brother who decided to bite his fucking toenails during the movie. Like, why? Why is that even a thing? Not all kids act like this. I have certainly never acted like this in a cinema, and I certainly wouldn't in gold class because I understand it. But, and as much as I would love to say, we should all be inclusive, because I was seeing gold class movies since a very young age. God, I can't even remember what the movie was called, but it was that one with Catherine Zeta-Jones and George Clooney. Yep, that was the first one I saw in gold class. And I get it, but not everybody is going to. And while it sounds really harsh that, oh yeah, we should exclude some people, sorry, but it's kind of the same rule as how you have a certain dress attire that is requested if you are going to an expensive restaurant. For example, there are restaurants here like at Crown Casino here in Melbourne where you cannot wear flip-flops, open-toed shoes, or anything like that because it's disrespectful. This is an expensive establishment, so you have to dress the part. I get that. Completely down with that. And I feel like there should be that same kind of standard applied to gold class. Considering how much money people are paying, you want to make sure that it is exactly what's advertised, a gold class experience. You don't get that if people are walking around or you've got kids in there doing ridiculous shit. But I'm tired of seeing this when I go to the movies, whether it's gold class, V premium, Europa, or regular cinema, whatever. When the kids are going there with their mates and they're doing it on their own, okay, you know, all bets are off. But when there's an adult with them, and I'm watching these kids jumping over the seats and racing each other up and down the aisles and literally climbing over every single chair, and the parents just sit there and go, yep, that's fine. No, it's not fine. People sit there. It's not for your feet. It's not a fucking arena. If your kids are going to do that, take them to the junior cinema that has a fucking slide and is specifically designed so children can run around and it doesn't bother anyone. That's what that cinema was designed for, not these ones. Parents need to kind of control their children because you're in a public domain. People are paying to see what's on the screen. And it's really hard to do that when you let your kids run amok. So have some respect, teach your kids some respect, and don't let them act up a fool in public settings like this. I would just like to go to the movies, relax, enjoy or not even enjoy the movie, but I would like to be able to know what is going on the screen instead of being distracted because people are being assholes around me. That's just how I feel. So, just wanted to get that off my chest. I don't know. You know what? Comment down below. Tell me some of your bad cinema experiences. I mean, I have a plethora of them, but yeah, these kids have just made it on my list. I don't think that list is gonna stop anytime soon. But anyway, that's all I have to say. So thanks for listening, and I'll actually be sure to have my Ready Player One review up, hopefully within the week. We'll see how that goes. Bye.